Hey everybody, we are back. I'm Ralph. That's Steve. We are the Legal Help Live team, and we're here to answer your legal questions. You're there to call us and ask those legal questions. And for those of you who call us, there's a gift certificate for dinner for two, lunch, at a restaurant of Steve's and my choice. That's when you call in, ask a legal question, you get a legal answer.
We had some interesting calls so far. We had somebody calling in about whether there was common law marriages in California. Then we had some questions about the Prop 8 and the Defense of Marriage Act.
Rental agreements.
Landlord-tenant. All right, so let's go right to the air. Stan, you've been waiting patiently. We're sorry. Why don't you come on and we'll talk about your problem.
Stan.
Sounds like Stan from Stan's Donuts.
If that stands from Stan's Donuts, I got it. Is it Sam or Stan?
Hi, how are you?
Well, who are you?
Good,
What's your name?
My name's Sam.
Where are you calling? What area are you calling from?
The Valley.
All right. How can we help you?
Valley.
You just want a dinner or lunch at a restaurant of our choice. So when we're done, if you stay on and give them the way to get the stuff to you, we'll send you a gift certificate for two.
That's fantastic.
How can we help you?
I have two questions. One is an academic question related to the law, and the second question is a question that I have regarding myself and the situation that I had. I'll go with the academic question first. According to the Supreme Court, they are the ones that interpret the Constitution and in the end figure out whether or not a law is constitutional or not, according to them, because of I believe it's Madison versus Mayberry. But so they essentially said themselves that they were the interpreters. What happens if another branch of the government decides that they want to say that they are also in charge of interpreting the Constitution?
That's a very interesting question. The way the United States Constitution is set up, there are three branches of government that are spelled out in the first three articles of the Constitution. There's the executive branch, that's the president and that administration. The second branch is the legislature, that's Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. The third branch is the judiciary. The way the system is set up and the way that it pronounced itself in the very beginning, and you just mentioned Marbury versus Madison, the United States Supreme Court is the arbiter of what violates the Constitution and what resides well within the Constitution. Any other branch of government, the legislature, the president, they're there to make laws and to execute those laws, and the judiciary is there to decide what is constitutional and what isn't. Anybody else's pronouncement isn't going to fly. It just doesn't.
And I think the closest we got to anarchy and chaos was Gore v. Bush or Bush v. Gore.
That was close.
When the determination of who the president of the United States was determined by the Supreme Court and not by the voters.
That's correct.
Right, but the authority to my question is mainly the authority to interpret the Constitution came from the Supreme Court itself.
Right.
In that decision. They in fact created that power for themselves in that case. I want to know whether or not what makes that more legitimate than another branch of government claiming that they have that power as well.
Well, because when the U.S. Supreme Court pronounced that decision a couple hundred years ago, they were acting within the powers granted to them and the authority granted to them by the United States Constitution. Now, they interpreted what they were assigned to interpret. If the legislature decides that they want to be the arbiter of what is constitutional and what is not, they have nothing to stand on. They don't have one of those articles in the Constitution to do that.
I think, you might be right. I think Ralph may be all full of it. I don't really think he knows the answer.
It's a couple of hundred years of precedent,
I think he's going with precedent. You can change precedent. I don't know the answer. I tell you, but we'll assign your question, because it's really a good question, to Professor Saltzman. And on our next show, we'll give you that answer, and he can do some academic research into it.
My second question has to do with something that happened to me. I will not name the theme park, but I was with a few friends at the theme park, and we didn't want to wait in lines. And we know a little about the rules that if you rent one of the electric wheelchairs, that they put you in the front of lines because they assume, the workers at least assume, that you have a disability. So we rented a couple of those. In one part because of that, and in the second part we didn't want to walk. So we paid $20 each, rented those, and we got to the front of the lines. Well, we got to this one line, and my friend got up out of his chair to go get a water and come back, and he's literally back in 5 minutes. But in between that time, there had been a party that arrived behind us in line, in the shorter line. And when my friend got back, one of the ladies in a wheelchair that was doing the same exact thing that we were doing got upset and was saying that he was cutting. And I turned around and said, well, he's not cutting. He's actually been here before you even got in the line. He just went to go get a bottle of water. He's literally gone 5 minutes. And so he's not cutting. And she complained she wanted to go in front of us. And I told her literally, if you want to go in front of us, that's tough because it's not going to happen. You're not, we were here before you. So
one fake handicapper is telling another fake handicapper.
So she got upset. She got out of her chair, grabbed my face. When she was grabbing my face, there happened to be an employee of that park walking by, and I told her, "Hey, I'm being assaulted. Can you please call security?" And I was in pain while this person was digging their nails into my skin on my face. And they shrugged their shoulders. They thought it was a joke or something. They shrugged their shoulders and walked away. Well, after I did that lady started punching me in the side of the face, and that's when I got up and got upset and restrained her and basically just got on top of her until security came. Well, security let her go. I was upset because I wanted to take this lady to court for assaulting me and stuff, and I was wondering whether or not the actual you believe that I could have sued the theme park for allowing her to leave without getting her information or anything, so that I could try to get her arrested.
Let me ask you this: what kind of injuries did you sustain?
And ugliness does not count.
That's not an injury. That's a status.
It was there were scratch marks to the side of my face with nails, and I also was punched, so I had a few bruises on the side of my head.
Did you seek medical attention?
No, I did not.
You probably have a lawsuit that's worth $5, but Saltzman would probably take it.
You know what? I've got a better suggestion. Rather than seeking an attorney to help you out, perhaps you've got a small claims action.
You know who the person is.
Yeah,
his complaint is they let the person go.
I understand that. I think perhaps there's a cause of action against the theme park.
I think you're a fake handicapper, and
I'm not saying you got a lot of sympathy.
I don't think you're going to have any sympathy at all. I go boo-hoo. I think your lawsuit's worthless, and I think it'd be like a travesty on the system. Now, I'm not really biased one way or another.
No, you don't say. You sound pretty even-handed, actually.
But
the fact of the matter is, if you want to pursue this, I don't think it's worth calling an attorney because an attorney's not going to find.
He'll take 40%, so he'll get 40% of $5.
That's a lot.
It's cash.
Are you guys
baby.
both attorneys?
There is small claims court. The maximum that
and this
you
is
can
a
sue,
real small claim.
The maximum you can sue in small claims court is $10,000. The minimum, which is maybe close to what you're looking for, is a couple of bucks.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll wait on the line for that free dinner. Thank you.
Okay.
So much.
Okay. You take
how
care.
Often are you guys on this? How often is the show on?
Show's on a
lot. It's on a lot. Tune in anytime you want, and you probably catch it or be real close to finding it. All right, Sam, thanks very much. Don't forget to stay on hold because we want to get your contact information so we can get your gift certificate.
Great, thank you.
And don't let anybody cut in front of you.
I'll try to get that wheelchair, make sure my friend doesn't leave.
All right, Sam. Thanks a lot for calling Legal
Fake
Help
handicappers.
Live. I've never heard of such a thing. Not in wheelchairs. There was that scandal with the blue parking
Wait,
placards.
you've never gone to Disneyland and seen these massive lines and then try
Somebody get in the wheelchair?
and
No, I've
then
never
rent
seen that.
one of these things
I
and
wouldn't
go
even-
up there and
Wouldn't even think
fake
about it.
all kinds of stuff you can get ahead of the line?
I don't know. But you can call us at 310-458-4950. Come on in and ask a legal question. And as what just happened with Sam, you'll get a gift certificate for two for dinner or lunch at a restaurant of Steve's and my choice. You know what? Talking about cutting in line. Here's a fellow. His name is actually in the paper here. I'm not going to name his name, but he's pulled over because he's driving in the carpool lane. The officer notices that he seems to be alone in this car, and the officer looks inside the car and he sees a bunch of papers on the front seat. You know what's in the front seat in those papers? It was incorporation papers. This guy's thought was a corporation is a person in the state of California. So he says to the officer, Officer, I do have a person here in the car with me. It's a corporation. The officer gave him a ticket. He says, take it to court. Judge throws it out. That's not true. The judge finds him guilty. We can move on. We got to take a break, I guess.
Okay, we're going to go to break now. Those of you online, stay online. Those of you waiting to get online, you can get on at 310-458-4950. Is the crew and everybody ready to go to break now? So when I say we're going to do break, we're going to do break.
That
We
means-
are
that means
going
we're-
to break, and right now.